Okay, where should I sit?
Right here. You can lie down.
Bit wonky, won't it?
Fix it in post. That's what filmmakers do, don't they? Is it on a timer? 10 seconds on. When is it?
I'll take another one.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready.
Do you not hear it?
Well, hello! Welcome to WIT News. How are you viewers and subscribers? I hope you're enjoying this weather. It's fantastic. In fact, I wanted to do this outside today over in the woodland at the back, but there's that many people about that, you know, it was just crazy. People kept cutting through and it was red hot as well, so I decided I'll let things cool down. I'll do it from my bedroom now, but I will. I'll get over there, don't worry. So, hope you all are well. And thanks for a couple of new subscribers. Thumbs up to you. Every little helps. And yeah. So, this is WIT News 8. I know it's been a few months and you've not seen me, but, you know, with the rain and everything and been busy and, you know, this and that and running back and forward. And also as well, I've kept my eye on things and there's not been really that much to report, to be fair. So that's basically why we've not done a WIT News. So I've jotted a couple of things down which you might be interested in. And also as well, go a little bit more into detail with the Yorkshire trip, which I hope you enjoyed the videos. I think it was over 3 hours worth there. And a bit more at the actual gun bunker, which was different as well, but we'll go more into that in a sec. But yeah, so what's been happening basically, if you remember about 4 months ago, we were talking about the felling of the trees. Now the felling of the trees is, if you remember, one of the stories was from the banks of Windermere. They actually have found out it was vandalism, and they actually have been found out and they have been told to replant all the trees, which is a great result. Also as well, you've seen, you may have seen or you've not, but I'll just repeat it in case anybody's not, the Sycamore Gap. I mean, they're saying it's now going to be about 620,000 costing, and between £1,000 and £2,000 to the actual damage of Adrian's Wall. Now, two 30-year-olds around about that age have been arrested. They appeared in court in Northumberland the other day with balaclavas on, which I don't agree, to be honest, but they're again innocent till proven guilty. So I think they went in, give the name and address, or one of them did, and they've been released till the 12th of June when they're back in. So, you know, like I said, let's hope that, you know, they've got the right people. But like I said, innocent until proven guilty. So we'll have to see, so I'll keep my eye on that. Also as well, I'd like you to give a big massive like, subscribe and a share to Steve Mera's official channel. It's just been launched about 2 weeks ago and it's just fantastic. Everybody loves listening to Steve. He's a mind full of information. He's done it for 30 odd, 40 odd years. Constant. Obsessed with it, and like I say, it's just, you've got to give him your support. He needs it right now, so like I said, he keeps putting stuff on there, and he's also started a new podcast on there as well. That's called The Big Picture. And to me, that's a brilliant name. And I said to him, how did you come up with that? He said, well, to be honest, Lee, it just popped into my head one day. So there you go. So yeah, give Steve a lot of support. And yeah, I'd also like to say that if you watched from the beginning, there's a short film of a few people you will not know, but there's probably two you will. And that was H and Colin Keater from Dark 66. So go over and have a look at his channel. Go over and have a look at H's channel. I Talk Cryptids. Thank you so much for coming down, guys. Travelling. You're always welcome. We love seeing you, meeting up with you. We wish it could be more, but obviously distance is, you know, but like I said, it was a good day. And what it was about basically is Mick got an email from a guy who does production on films, and basically was talking to him about the big cat side of things. So he arranged to meet up the other week, which is what you saw, and there was a group from Lee, from a local magazine, and there was also, they were part of the same team, but the other two were from Leeds, and they did the actual editing side of things, and you know, photography kind of side of things as well. But it was good to see that, you know, on the photography side side of things, can't get, I'll just have a quick sip. They were using the old rolling camera, which was brilliant to see. So yeah, and they looked very professional. They were professional. We had to sign so they could use our video and whatnot. So, you know, it was all done proper. We'll see what they come up with. But basically, they were really interested as well on the paranormal side of things. So we did that kind of aspect of things. I'll put a video in at the end of the actual, you know, Wait news. And we actually took them over to the mat trap, which I put down, and we'll see if we get any results. Now the mat trap, what we did last time me and Mick went, we've only been to put it down in the pouring rain, as you've seen, if you follow my channel, and then we went back to reload the trap, and Mick went to get his actual SD card out of the camera. Now, I did not go near my camera, so it's been up there for a good 2.5, maybe 3 months, to be fair. So until we went up the other day, I'd not touched it. But I'll let you know, like I say, at the end of it, what we actually caught on the actual card of my camera. So, excuse me. So, yeah, so I'll put a little bit more information at the end of it, but yeah, but they were brilliant. They came over and we had a good, they were only meant to stop till 6, but it was about 7 o'clock by the time they'd gone. They were, you know, and they got a lot of stuff, and I think they got a lot more than what they actually thought they'd film. So yeah, we had a cracking day. Good bunch of people. So yeah, Mick as well, you know, we do out into the field section.
Then it came back again, and then I think it disappeared again, and I think it gave out a bit of a red light. And then when we got down here, the trees obscured it, but when I got to the bottom there was nothing in the sky. The sky was totally clear, no clouds, but there was nothing there.
Videos of the actual UFO over Winter Hill, or maybe 2 UFOs actually. So I was waiting for that to come in, do a little bit of a trail, and then you could go over to when, but Mick thought, no, it's a bit short, which I understand, it's only about 6 minutes something. So he said, I'm not going to do a trail, it's a bit short. So I said, yeah, fine, no problem. So that was planned, but of course, there's no out in the field this month. And like I said, I've been trying to do one every month, but I've just been so busy, and there's not really been that much happening, to be fair, to jot down. So yeah, I'd also like to say that when we went over to Yorkshire, we met up with Ben from the 401 Files, and Lily, the dog, and what a cracking team they make. So go over and have a look and give your support to the 401 Files. It was a cracking day. Very strange place. You can see why Ben and Lily are always in there. It was, best way to describe it was just, well, I actually say it on the video, if you've seen it, that it's like Lord of the Rings. It puts you back in time. It's a very strange place, and that's in the day, never mind the night. So, you know, and like I say, if you didn't see the video at the end, I've left a little bit of a thank you as well to another top researcher who used to work in the north end of Dalby Forest, as Ben says. So yeah, and he did a lot of discovery things. And if you watch Paul's Wolflands video, you'll see that he actually left a little bit about this person as well, which was fantastic, and some great research done there. If you've not seen it, Wolflands, Amazon Prime, or you can get it on Truth Proof. Just send Paul a message and he will get one in the post, as well as the books, which are fantastic. Right, but on about Yorkshire as well, I'd just like to go into a little bit more detail about it, because you can't do and fit everything into the actual videos. I think it was over about 3 hours, wasn't it? My kind of take on the actual full week. Well, it was 7 days, to be honest. But yeah, so on the first night, obviously we went over to Benton Cliffs, and if you watch Steve Mera, you'll always see that he kind of runs on the side as saying, like, you know, the tricksters, and I couldn't get my head around it at first. I thought, tricksters, paranormal tricksters. But I know what he means now, because, like I said, the entity we saw on the first night, unbelievable, isn't it? I was facing the main gate between the RSPB main building, the gate, the alley, and the porter cabin. And I was just talking, I was pointing to the actual gate, talking to a few people, and we felt nothing. And I could see something at the corner of my eye, and when I looked, it was like the idea behind what I think, it's like when you're not talking about the paranormal, that's when it does it. It like says, hey, don't forget, I'm over here, I'm over here. You know what I mean? It's just strange. It's when your mind is off the paranormal, something happens, and that's why you can't go click with your camera, because you're like, what's just happened? What happened then? I saw something, but it's too late, it's gone. But basically, it was, somebody's got some fireworks for some reason. Strange. But basically it was a black shadow, a very thin black shadow, and it was kind of stretching all the time. Its body and its arms were stretching until this eye actually cottoned on to what was moving. And as soon as it knew I'd seen it and said something, it actually shot back. So I can see what it means about being a trickster. And all the time, it was there. It was like it was playing games. It was like in your head, to me, it was using the corners of the buildings to hide round. I mean, you saw Mick go down, and he came back and said, God, I feel sick. And it's the energy it's giving out. So it must have been really, really close to it. But of course, as well, when I first saw it and started walking over, I said to Pete, the medium, I said, Pete, I've just seen something. And I looked at Pete, and Pete was, if you watch my video, you'll see that you're facing the opposite way to I was. So I thought, what's going on? What's the... Anyway, I said to Pete, I said, what you did? He said, it's over here. I said, well, I've just seen it. He said, yeah, but that was a decoy. He said, whatever the main energy is, it was over here. He said, that's thrown a decoy out. So if you saw something, say in a forest, always think, you know, you're looking at it, so what's that? And you're taking a few seconds to work it out. What's behind you? That's the trickster side of things. They mask what, you know, it's just so fascinating to me. It's just unbelievable, to be fair. But yeah, so on the first night, we did see the entity. But if you look proper, I'll add another little bit of an extra at the end of Wit News, of Mick is discussing it, I think, with me and Daz, about there's a strange shadow down the actual porter cab inside where we actually caught the entity eye. But when you look at the actual eye itself, it's not at the back, peeping round the back of the corner. It's actually, the eye is on the steel corner of the porter cabin. It's in front. So what I was thinking, Mick, I think Mick said, first of all, he said, is it not coming through the porter cabin? And I thought, maybe he's right, that's why the energy is so put in such a strange shape on the shadow itself. Maybe it's coming through the porter cabin. Because we just, it goes to walk through walls and fences. I mean, the first time we saw it, I can't see it jumping a fence. I saw it running behind the porter cabin and it was staged shadows. But I can't see what, but it was actually, when you look at the actual bicycle repair shed, it was actually behind there. But when you look and go round, there's a fence all the way down the side from the porter cabin, so it must have come through the fence. So it's just baffling, to be honest, absolutely baffling. But that's what's fascinates us into keep doing it, to be fair. So yeah, I mean, that was on the first night. Strange, very strange. We went up there again in the week. I was talking again to Paul's friend Linny, and Kaz was there and whatnot. And it was quite strange, really, because we were talking on the car park for a good 20 minutes, and then I just wandered off, and I felt it again. I just wandered off and I felt it again, and then I kind of looked around and thought to myself, what am I doing here? I was in the middle of a conversation here. What, and even some of them said that was a bit rudely, and I thought, well, yeah, but I didn't, it was just strange how it happened, but I definitely felt it again, but nobody else did. It's like it was trying to pull me away from the actual group. But I didn't see nothing. But another strange thing what happened as well is where you actually go into the post for the cottage, you drive past the front of the cottage, it's an old barn, and you drive round the side and into the courtyard and park up. Well, one night we were coming back, and I said to Mick, when we were approaching the house, because you're only 2 fields away from Danes Dyke, which is strange in itself. But when we were coming home one night, I forgot what night it was now, I asked to Mick, I said, there's something watching us. And he said, yeah, there's definitely something there. There's definitely something there. It was quite an eerie feeling. And we never felt it again. It was just that night, which was really strange. It's like the feeling I got was when we landed and we started circulating, it's like it was watching us. I wouldn't say all week, but it was mainly at the night you were getting the kind of creepy feeling that there was something about, but you couldn't put your finger on it. But of course, that's the paranormal. You also saw as well that we did a little bit of a section on the gun turret, on the actual bunker. It was Pete's idea. Pete said, why do you not try reenact? And I thought, well, yeah, it could work in my head. Got thinking, I thought, well, I'll use the actual small torch I've got. I'll put it on strobe and just, add some machine gun fire to it and just kind of let you have a bit of entertainment out of it as well. But of course, anybody who's listened to it, apart from one comment off somebody, said there's something, in the background, a few times long hums and that, but it weren't, it was the sea. Because you'd probably not actually been there, the sea was hitting the rock at the bottom, which was right under the actual bunker itself, but there was nothing. But Pete said he's had some good results in the past when he used to do a lot of the ghost hunting stuff, that they've reenacted stuff and they've caught something. Now, was it already there and then they've just done it and something matched up to it, or I don't know. But we tried it for a good couple of minutes, and of course we didn't get any results, but it's worth the try, and it was something different. So yeah, and then of course you'll see on the second video I did about when we were just not on about the paranormal again, we were just heading out towards Speeton, We were going having a quick look over there. That when we were approaching, as we call it, well I call it the roller coaster road, it's up down from Flamborough to Speeton, but it goes through Benton, where you turn up to the actual cliffs. As we more or less set out 5 minutes into the journey, we're driving along, and I can visualize it now because, like I've said before, when you see something or somebody else sees something, you kind of remember that split moment of, you know, whatever happened. And I can remember we're coming to the top of the hill in the dark in the pickup, and Daz was doing between 30 and 40 maybe. He's an HG driver, so he doesn't drive that fast, and of course then country roads we do go slow in case anything like, you know, this happens, and we didn't think anything would. We were just going from the actual edge of Danes Dyke, the actual dike itself at the back of it, where it ends on the dark country road, and we dropped into the dip. Now you'll see on the actual pictures, if you watch my video, that H was really the first one to see it. Now H saw it because he was probably the highest up in the middle and had a full windscreen to see when he was coming over and dropping down, so he was the first one really to get his eyes on whatever. And basically what he was saying is, I couldn't understand it, and probably I didn't go through it in the picture enough on the actual video, that it was like an apparition what came in the middle of the road. It appeared, and he said it looked like the werewolf out of, you know, the American Werewolf in London. He said that's all I can say. So basically, when I was putting the picture to in my head that what have we seen, what was going on, basically we were going, and H has seen this crossing the road. As I've been, the headrest was there on Daz's, behind his head. So as I'm panning across before anything just happened, I was panning across and I saw something like a very white dust or something dull, like kind of not flash but fade out. And then of course, I think when we were dropping down the dip and H was shocked with what he'd seen, Daz and Mick had seen the back end of it going round the actual hedge with the tail sticking out. And of course with H already seen it, he must have followed it to where it actually was, because like I said, all three people saw a tail at the back of the actual hedge. I didn't, but I can remember the moment when they all kicked off in the car and was like, my God, what's going on? Because obviously they know what they've seen, what me and Kaz had not, you know, what's happened, like, you know what I mean? I've got a puncture, and Mick was just saying, stop. And they were just, H was trying to push Kaz out of the door, no word of a lie, when they were moving. So they definitely saw something. I looked at Daz, and Daz was just quiet and kind of just saying what, and he was more concentrating on his driving. So everybody's saying stop, and I said, look, the camera, let's spin it round. So of course you've seen the actual road. It's not one where you can just stop, it's a fast road. Obviously we'd just come down like a roller coaster hill, so anything coming over the top we can't just slap on. So we turned round where we could, headed straight back, which must have been between 30 and 40 seconds, just jumped in the pickup into the actual hedge, more or less, up to the plough, off the road, and we all jumped out, and Daz jumped out, he got his thermal. I got my eye on two deers with the torch. Everybody's seen my torch, it's just, you know, you can't miss anything really, there's something there. And Daz said, yeah, there's two deer, but there was nothing else. And then obviously Mick and H were just looking, you know, we put it down both sides of the hedge rows, go straight into the field. The torch, you know, you've seen the torch, like I said, the beam's amazing on it. It didn't pick nothing up at all. And that's when I decided, right, okay, while we're on the scene, let's hit it and let's see what they've seen. So at that point, I'd not even known what they'd seen until I started pressing record on the camera. But yeah, so I thought that was interesting in itself to get that as the action unfolded. But you know, it was just strange. The whole week was strange, to be honest. But we always get results when, you know, we go over to Yorkshire. But the thing is as well, it's a shame we couldn't have had Pete and Nat all week, but they had to go back on the Tuesday. So, you know, we might have had a lot more happening if Pete and Nat had stayed. I don't know, because always when we get something like the entity appearing, Pete's there. So does he complete the circle? Like I say on the video. But I don't know, it's just one of those. But we'll keep testing and trying different things. And we'll see if we can get you more results. But yeah, that was strange in itself. We went back, I think it was not the day after, it was the day after that. I said, come on, let's bob back and show the viewers and subscribers in the daylight, and then you get a better view of, you know, you couldn't see, you could just see for miles and miles basically. It was flat field, but there's no way it was an horse. I mean, we actually went, where I parked the van when we went back in the daylight, there was the entrance where on the night they backed the pickup in and turned round. That was the only entrance. Now when we were there in the daylight, we couldn't have really gone through there because there was a bull in the field and there was actually cows. Now I've tried to get that on film as well, that's in the film, but it was all barbed wire fence. The only horses we saw were not around that area, none whatsoever. They were all paddocked up. And I spoke to my sister and in Australia, and she said they're more or less in packs anyway. They don't just do, you know, you get a single horse on a country road in a field what's not, you know, no grass, whatnot. It just doesn't happen. And she knows it inside out, to be honest, the horses, which I thought myself. So yeah, so I got a bit more research and information from that side of things. So, but it can't have been an horse. I mean, to have a bushy tail, they're not bushy. Horses are wire to flick the flies away from their faces. You know, ponies are the same. It's just very strange again. But, you know, I'd like to thank Vic Cundiff. If he sees this, a lot of you probably watch his channel. It's going for a few years now. But yeah, thanks Vic. You answered our message, and you know, you answered it spot on as well, because you know that's exactly what, you know, Mick, Daz and H saw, bushy tail, and that's what they say when they see a dog man. Either it's got one or it's not, but if it's got one, it's long and it's bushy, and that's what they saw apparently. So we just can't, you know. I've asked Mick about it since we've come back, and he said he just keeps getting flashbacks all the time. So there's definitely something strange. And like I said, H said it kind of an apparition in the middle of the road when it kind of, you know, and when, in fact, H messaged me the other day and he found a clip from Canet Chase. I think it was the 1980s, I think it was. And I'll let you listen to this story now.
What are believed to be time slips and UFO activity all having been reported there. During the 1970s and 80s, Canet Chase and the various towns and villages which surround it became synonymous with one of the UK's oldest supernatural tropes. Numerous stories were published in local newspapers detailing how travellers crossing the region had come face to face with what was believed to be a hellhound. The entity involved in these incidents was described as being substantially taller and bulkier than the largest canine breeds, black in colour, and unlike any animal the witnesses had ever encountered. One evening in January of 1985, Sylvia Everett and her husband were driving along Penkridge Bank Road, one of the several main roads that cuts directly through the centre of the chase. It was a clear night, with the road ahead well lit not only by the headlights of their car, but also by the full moon shining above. Sylvia was forced to step hard on the brakes as she caught sight of something moving slowly across the road ahead. But when the car finally came to a halt, both she and her husband were stunned to see what resembled a small patch of mist situated directly in the centre of the highway. As the pair watched on, this mass of fog slowly materialised into the outline of a large dog-like creature, with a broad torso, powerful legs and large head. And yet, despite the obvious canine features, both witnesses could still see the car's headlights illuminating the carriageway beyond. A pair of bright yellow eyes then formed upon the face of this manifestation, which regarded them for what seemed like an eternity. Then, with a sudden movement, the entity was gone, disappearing into a thick patch of undergrowth not far from where it had been standing.
Yes, so I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a clip. But yeah, we were planning to go over on the beginning of June to Nat and Pete for another meet-up and to discuss what's happening in the way of researching and locations we're going to. Now we are going to a couple, I think we're on a couple of stone circles and some different stuff on the cards, so look out for that. But yeah, that's all I can say. If you want to know anything more about what I've covered, just comment below and I'll get back to you. I always do. I always read every comment. Every comment to me is key. So yeah, so that's it from W.H.I.T News. And thanks for watching. Thanks for liking and sharing. It all helps a little bit more to get up the paranormal ladder. So yeah, on that note, till the next W.H.I.T News, thank you. But remember, isn't the paranormal fascinating? Thanks again. Bye bye for now.
Well, hello people, hope you're all well. Right, you know what I'm going to say? Where are we today? Where are we today? Let me just show you. There you go. We're at Rivington. Why are we at Rivington, you're asking? Not because it's just sun shining. I'll just peg you around here. As you can see, a little bit of filming going on for a local, I don't know, they're called STAT. I'm not sure if the students or whatnot, I've not really spoke to them because I've not long got here, but they're doing, I think, a kind of cover for the big cats. So we've been asked as a team to, you know, kind of come over and explain why they do all the filming. I think they've got a local magazine as well. I think they're based in Leigh, STAT, if I remember right. I've only had a quick look last night, but STAT. So yeah, have a look at them. But like I said, H is over there as well. He's come over from Morecambe Way. He came over last night. And Colin Keaty's come over from Yorkshire. So it's brilliant to see Colin over here. It's only a couple of weeks since we last saw him, but it was a flying visit really, because he was on the cliff tops when I met him, but when I looked round he'd gone. So it was just a flying visit, so it's good to catch up. And going off what he's been saying, Colin's going to make it a regular thing, you know, when things, we'll probably do the same, go over the back over there and he'll come back over here and vice versa. So yeah, so that's what we're doing today, doing a bit of filming. I'll just show you a little bit more of the filming. I'll have to be quiet though, but there you go.
That Colin? I spent about 7 or 8 weeks going in the every 3 days, looking at the trail cams, going to the areas where there's water, where I think it could be drinking.
Does that ever get dangerous?
I honestly don't think, I don't think it would attack a human because we're too big. Now yeah, they go for children, but a cat will only attack when it's hungry. And out here we've got sheep, we've got deer, we've got rabbits. They'll eat things like that and attack things like that. They won't go for humans. So I think for humans walking around it, we're fine.
Would you be able to lure it then, do you think, with food?
We have tried that. Lee, one of our members, he's made a sort of a trap. It's a wooden square, and he's filled it with soil, and he's put in the tree, hanging a fish in a tree inside a bird cage. So if it came and smelt it, it would leave some sort of track there.
Just cut us there, is that alright?
Yeah.
Who was it who invented that trap, sorry?
Lee.
Really? Would we be able to get just you talking to Lee about that trap? Is that alright?
Yeah.
Right, people, okay. We're back going down to the actual trap mat and having a look, see if there's any paw prints. Now, I've not been, since I put it up on the 18th of March, I think it was around about 4 o'clock, I think it was. And then we nipped back, but obviously that was just to reload the trap. Just found it a bit difficult to just keep our eye on the camera and watch them going. It's quite an achievement get down there. We've not actually been back to see if there's any paw prints, but the reason I've come back is for that in itself and to see if there's anything on the camera, because we've not been back up here since the 1st of April, and there actually is some paw prints or deer marks or something.
Yeah, there's something there, isn't there?
So it does actually.
What do you think that looks like?
Deer.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah.
What about that one there?
Yeah, it's just
Think?
yeah, it's just deer that. We have actually got some results, to be honest. They look like deer tracks.
So you know it works.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, definitely. And just over there is the actual budgie cage, as I call it.
I see. Oh, so it's like a bird.
Yeah, it's a bird feeder. So the idea is, whatever comes over here, because I mean, the idea as well came from because we've had so much wet weather.
Yeah.
So if anything steps on it, when it kind of dries out, or if it's still slightly muddy, it's aiming for that. So it has to bounce off that really to go over the tree.
So is this a positive result?
Yeah, definitely. It's just a shame with no actual. But you know, I mean, big cats, the stealth, and I know it sounds daft, but if I put this here and left a scent, it might try and get it through the other way. I don't know. There might be something on camera. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. But it definitely works.
Yeah. Wow. What about this one? Is this
deer.
deer? But yeah, the
Deer.
two sort of.
Yeah, it's like they're like.
This is all dark. Can you see what I mean? Like that.
Right. Where's his eye level?
That's his eye there.
Right.
This is all around it. You've got all these funny shapes going round like that. If you look at what I can see there, as you're looking at that, this bit here, this white bit, is
Oh
a
yeah,
bush.
because there's no gap, is there, between the...
No. So that's in front. So when you look here, you can see the bit of fence in here.
Yeah.
You can't see it there because there's something there
Yeah.
blocking it.
Yeah.
So it's in front of this.
So what you're saying? It's a misshaped entity.
It's something really, really weird
I
and
said that.
unusual.
I knew as soon as we got there it weren't right. Oh, Neil's a proper cuter.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the shape it is.
Yeah, it's not right. It's weird.
It's really.
And now you just drew that.
Just turn it
you
this
know
way,
what's
Meg.
come into my mind. I've just
really
said
weird.
in my mind when I saw that it was demonic,
Hang on, let me zoom in a bit.
and I don't do demons.
It's almost
you know.
like he's got a bat wing held up.
Yeah,
isn't it?
like a demonic thing, and I don't do demonic, as you know.
But it's all in front because when you look at that, you can. Why is that not the same? The photo that's been taken tonight in the exact same position and everything.
It's just
Look,
not.
look.
It's not
Yeah.
right, is it?
Look
Yeah,
at
'cause
that.
it's light.
It's exactly the same.
It's that ever's
But
poking
that's
out there.
dark. It's
Yeah,
so dark.
exactly.
Yeah, it's weird though.
Yeah, so it's not the shadow of the
As soon as you
Water
got out
cabin,
of
is
the
it?
car, I knew it weren't right. You weren't
there's
the
no
same at
shadow.
all
Yeah.
as what's on that date. It's not right. That was a
Indeed,
bit
no.
demonic to me. Sorry.
Those are my headlights, aren't they, from last night?
Yeah,
What?
yeah, you were
Yeah.
here and your headlights would have shiny through here.
Is that the headlights tonight?
That's exactly the same tonight.
With the
Yeah,
headlights?
when you
Yeah.
put the headlights on, it's
Did they
exactly
put
the
them on full
same.
beam then?
Yeah.